Arid regions of the country have been disadvantaged due to poor infrastructure and lack of enough teachers. Now, this was further escalated when the first case of COVID-19 was reported in the country in March, and all learning institutions were closed indefinitely. This meant that learners from these regions could no longer access learning, but in Tana River County, schools were closed but not books. Our Education Affairs reporter Sharon Baranga reports on a program that has transformed the lives of a community that always felt left out.
Hujambo tena mwanafunzi wetu popote pale ulipo, karibu sana katika kipindi chako cha Jisome Jitegemee awamu.
There is a voice in Tana River County that is gradually changing the narrative of this area.
Na leo itakuwa tunafanya nini, Teacher V?
So powerful is the voice that already results are visible.
Kwa leo katika awamu hii ya Jisome Jitegemee tutakuwa tunafanya beginning and ending.
Learners from Tana Delta Sub-County always tune in every Saturday between 10 and 11 a.m. for radio lessons.
Nitakuwa nakupatia neno.
Teacher assistants are normally part of the program. They monitor how the learners are taking in the lessons and help answer questions they might have. After radio lessons, there is a workbook where students are expected to do assignments.
Blackboard, classroom, desk.
Before schools were closed indefinitely in March this year, after the first case of COVID-19 was reported in the country,
Can you read?
a number of children in Tana Delta Sub-County could not read. But now, following a close attention they are receiving from teacher assistants, they are improving from identifying a letter, a sentence, to reading a paragraph.
Pia watoto kama si hii project wangeharibika kwa sahihi, kwa sababu kutokana tangu hii janga ilianza watoto wameanza kuharibika. Watoto hawapatikani majumbani, lakini huyu mwalimu akija mara nyingi wanakusanyika, hawachezi mbali na sisi tunawaamrisha.
Huwa tunasema hakuna mtoto dull, lakini huwa tunasema ni slow learner. Amepungukiwa tu kidogo. So ile kazi yetu ni kumvuta yule mtoto kutoka ile situation ambayo yuko, tumweke sawa sawa na wale wengine. Mtoto kama hakupata foundation nzuri from the PPs, then aje kwa grade from grade 1, 2, 3. Kama amekosa the correct foundation, mtoto atakuwa umemmaliza.
The accelerated learning, one, it has aroused the interest of learning. I attended one of the assessments and I met a child in class 5 who was at letter level. Class 5. That child was 14 years old at letter level. So you find that if this child knew how to read, because he was at the letter level, he could not read a sentence, he could not read a paragraph, nor read a story. So at least the accelerated learning has improved, one on numeracy and also on literacy.
Accelerated Learning Program was started in Tana Delta Sub-County in 2019. It is sponsored by Safaricom Foundation and the implementers are Zizi Afrique and Meridiano CBO. The program is meant to identify learners who are lagging behind academically and help them attain the required level based on their respective classes.
Assessment was conducted, and from the assessment, it was found out that there are a good number of learners in this sub-county who are not at the level that they are required in terms of literacy and in terms of numeracy.
998 children from 22 schools in Garsen and Minjila area were identified, assessed, and qualified to join the Accelerated Learning Program.
From the assessment, they are put in at a particular cycle. There are those who are put at, let's say, they can recognize letter. There are those who can recognize word. There are those who can read a paragraph. And there are those who can read story. So, of course, the ones who can read story don't qualify to join the program because their threshold is above the requirement of the program. So once that happens, the learners are put in a camp. They are assisted by teacher assistant so that they can move from one level to another.
Every camp has 40 to 45 children.
Normally huwa tuko na 2 camps, camp ya literacy na camp ya numerous.
School dropouts have been the norm in this county, but now all hopes are pinned on the accelerated learning program to help change the landscape.
The nomadic culture of our people, you'll find that in most times school attendance is very low, very poor by learners because of the migratory culture of our people. However, we have started what we are calling the local symbolic primary schools to take care of that. Again, the affinity for education in the sub-county is still wanting. Not many have that urge for learning, but we are trying through this Africa to encourage so that we reduce the dropout rate.
These are not the only challenges facing the education sector here.
The staffing level of Tana River and more so Tana River sub-county is a bit wanting, simply because of the position of the sub-county where it is. We have the Boni Forest, which is nearby, and we have the insecurity posed by the Shabab. So you find the teachers, not many teachers we wish to be recruited in this region.
The distribution of radios by Safaricom has helped put Tana Delta sub-county on the map. Apart from the radio lessons, learners can also have access to solar-powered lights that help them study at night.
The Safaricom Foundation through Zizi Afrique rolled out a radio program sometimes 2 months ago, and this radio program was meant for learners who were in the program, accelerated learning program, and 900 radios were given out.
In the TVs, there is a lot of learning taking place, but the social level of the people here, most of them cannot afford the TVs. So you find that as much as we talk about learning through the television sets, in the sub-county, if it is happening at a low range or low level.
A few learners from Garsen and Minjila can access online learning and lessons broadcasted on televisions as well. Secondary school students are also being engaged during this season of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have identified teachers in the various subject areas. Each teacher will prepare a module in his area of specialization. That module will have literature on that area, if it's biology, if it's geography, and there will be some activity at the end of that literature. So once that is done and it is printed, we use the chiefs to ferry now that material, that literature to the various zones.
And there is only one way to measure the success of this program.
Sisi tukikuja hapa tunasomewa na hesabu, silabi na kutunga sentensi.
Nilikuwa sijui kusoma, lakini nilipoingia nikajua kusoma.
Tunafundishwa mambo mengine ambayo tunajui kama kuandika story wewe mwenyewe na kujisomea wewe peke yako.
A good number of the learners who are identified and who are placed in this program managed to move from one level to the other. Apart from that, the program also managed to bring on board a very important stakeholders like the parents, because parents are the foundation for the success of their children.
The community in Tana Delta sub-county believes it is only a matter of time and their children will be able to catch up with their counterparts from other parts of the country.
Masomo ina faida mzuri sana kwa watoto wetu, kwa sababu saa hii dunia hii huwezi kukaa bila elimu.
Sharon Baranga, TV 47.